So this bonus voice note is very specifically for divine feminines. Very specifically for divine feminines reaching to further embody this concept of detachment, especially detachment from an outcome, detachment from your divine masculine. And just to give you a bit of background, I have gone through this concept. I have gone through iterations and lessons in this concept many rounds over for the last 6 years. And what I've come to learn and accept, as much as it sucks sometimes, is that when you are working on such a huge concept like that, especially when you have highly emotional charge to it, a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of desire attached to a person and a concept and a union such as this, detachment becomes a very difficult lesson to learn. And what I've discovered in my experience is that it takes several rounds and several layers. Every round of together and separation and together and separation, I peel back another aspect of the concept of detachment and surrender in a layer deeper than I couldn't before. And so I hope someone out there hears that it gets to be okay if it takes many rounds. 666 on someone's license plate while I'm recording this. Don't tell that I'm driving and recording. But anywho, it gets to be okay that it takes many rounds, because it gets to be okay that it takes your human several layers to work on this percentage by percentage, because otherwise you could possibly wreck your human, and you can only take so much at a time, and that gets to be okay. Circling back to the point of this, what I've really started to put a lot more attention into lately, rather than the person, the connection, the relationship, the union, the outcome, is literally just how important it is, in my opinion, to be divine feminine. What is a divine feminine? I want to make myself a little reminders all over my life about what would divine feminine do, because what I've come to realize is when I concentrate on that, not only do I feel so much better and so much more empowered, but things ease. I can feel myself soften. I can feel my life soften, and it lets me let go a little bit. So in my prompting to you about what would divine feminine do, the thing I'm trying to hit the nail on the head about here is the ultimate detachment from this person, from this outcome. What if union, physical 3D union in this life with your divine masculine isn't a thing? And I've asked myself that hundreds of times. And it's funny because there was a phase in my life where I kind of had to treat it like, well, what if my person passed away tomorrow? What would my life be? What if their physical existence ceased to be in this reality, in this lifetime? What would I do? And so, as sad as that is, or morbid as that is, my point is that I was able to go, well, I'm still here. I'm still living. I still got to have a life. I got to have a job. I got to have a purpose. I got to take care of my dependents, all the things that I want to do, And so in a way, I was able to let myself let go, because in my head, I could picture a space where that literally wasn't an option. But now I'm circling back around to this concept of what if and see and will be in connection with that person for the rest of your life, and it still isn't ever going to happen? What if, for reasons that don't even matter, you will never be with your person? Your person will never meet you in this space of union, and yet you still know of their existence. They're still living, breathing, kicking. Maybe they still live next door to you. Maybe they still live in the same city as you. Maybe y'all still have to co-parent together. Things like that. And so that was like a little kicker for me of oh, I don't want to accept that. But how could that be? You know what I mean? But it's this wrestling with, if my person, for whatever reason, doesn't even matter, chose that union was not for us because of his own free will or otherwise misalignment, what if my person still lived out the rest of their existence next to mine and union was never a thing? And then it hit me. What would divine feminine do? Because what's more important than union? Inner union, becoming a divine feminine, this role, this position, I dare say, that those of us are being called to take up, has to become more important than the union. And so in in reaching for more of what inner union truly is, it's kind of like stepping up into this role of, ooh, what is divine feminine, and what would she do in this situation? And so I hope that question today, if it makes you squirm a little bit, you sit with it longer, because if you could take it a layer deeper, then, well, if my person passed away tomorrow or moved to the other side of the world tomorrow and I never saw them again, could I be okay? Could I live my life? Could I live a life full of purpose and joy and sovereignty and freedom? And you might be able to say yes to that. But what if your person you have to see every week when you pick up your kid from them? Or what if your person and you live in the same city and bump into each other, do the same circles of friends, or you go to the same church or whatever, and you continue to see them for the rest of your life knowing that it just will never be? What would a divine feminine do? She would keep living her kick-ass awesome life. She would keep living in purpose and mission and freedom and sovereignty. And as hard and as painful as that might be to hear right now, I know that I'm getting to the other side of that, and I know that you out there, divine feminine, can get to the other side of that.